Hi guys, I'm Roger Wakefield, Late AP, the expert plumber, coming to you on YouTube Live. How is everybody doing? And happy Monday morning. So, number one, if you've never been here before, welcome to the channel. What we're doing is we're talking plumbing, all things plumbing. Everything from people wanting to get in the trades, people who are in the trades and want to get better, people that are in the trades, have been in the trades a long time and possibly want to open their own company, and trades companies owners that actually want to learn how to use social media to grow their business. So we talk all things plumbing. So, man, I see we've already got a lot of comments flying through here. Good to see all these people in here. Editor Grayson can actually make posts, and it says our sound is down. And I don't have a mouse, so I can't turn my master volume up from over here. Can you hear me? Do you hear me talking to you?
Yeah, I'm turning down the volume.
You're down? Because it says we don't have sound. Oh, it says turn down sound. There we go. So anyway, guys, apparently, as you see, we have troubles every now and then. Okay, they're turning it down. I hope it's all good. Anyway, look, we're here to talk about plumbing. We've got a YouTube channel that is doing phenomenal. Already got a super chat in the house. I see that. Dion Potgeister, thank you so much, brother. I think that Liz has me taken care of. She's in here working on it, so hopefully we'll get there. How are y'all doing today? And the reason that I ask is, man, this is Monday. It's the day after Super Bowl, so I know that we probably had a lot of people out having fun. Actually, they said that I think 16 million people won't go to work today. I hope that wasn't any of y'all. But if it was, it is what it is. If you have questions today, please go over into the forum. If you go over to the chat and go to the very top, there's a link there to where you can actually go in and ask questions. Look, and there's a lot of people in the comments that actually, okay. Can I get the mouse for just a minute? I know, that's why I said I needed over here to adjust the master. All right. Yeah. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. I'm still peeking there. Test 1, 2. Try that right there. Should be good. There you go. So anyway, guys, let me know if that sound is a little bit better. I know, man, we're trying. We have to adjust mics for different things if we're shooting video or if we're recording calls or things like that. So there's a lot of different things that we have to do. So Mr. Potgeister, I hope that got everything taken care of. Anyway, what I was saying is we've got a link to the forum up in the top. If you will go up there, click on it, it'll take you over to a Google document to help get things going. And man, somebody's already beat me to the punch. I see we have somebody here from Dublin, Ireland. Good to have you in the house. If y'all would real quick, man, everything in the world is happening, brother. If y'all would real quick, go into the chat and put in where you're from and what you do. What part of the country are you from? What part of the world are you from? And what do you do? Are you a plumber? Are you an apprentice? Do you want to get in the trades? Are you a plumbing company owner? And the reason I do that and the reason I ask that is we have a lot of people get in here, and I may not get to every question, and I'll address more in a minute. But if you will, please go into the chat, put where you're from and what you do. Apprentice from whatever. I'm a master plumber from Dallas, Texas. And then where you're from. What part of the world do you live in? And tile and marble setter, I love that. Man, we get a lot of other trades in here. I think that is fantastic. So, while y'all are putting that in, and I'll scroll back to them here in a minute, the thing I want to talk about is I'll go ahead and address my arm. And I don't remember if I wore the brace last week, but I went in for physical therapy today. So my elbow's a little bit sore. I have detached my bicep, and without making anybody sick or anything like that, literally my bicep detached from my elbow. So the bicep muscle was just attached up here at the shoulder. So what we had to do, we had to go in, I say we, I didn't do anything but lay there and sleep. They drilled a hole in my radius bone. They basically stuck a tool down in it to where they could pull the tendon back down into it and then stick a screw in there to hold it. So, man, it's really pretty wild. So, man, I'm going to scroll back up to these here because, man, this is cool. And we got people from all over the world. This is neat. I love it. Okay, Mike, sounds better. Good. I love that. Architectural Sheet Metal 101 in the house. Good to see you here. Okay, so I've addressed my arm already. Happy Monday. Absolutely. Toronto, Canada, tile and marble setter. That is neat. Yeah, if you like what we're doing, guys, give us a thumbs up. If you don't like what we're doing, leave me a comment in here and tell me why. Tell me what we could do better. Near Pittsburgh. Foss says, hello, Roger. Your videos are really entertaining. Only 15 and have no experience in plumbing, but your videos are entertaining enough to keep my interest. I'll tell you what, plumbing it's a great career. I love it. I love what I get to do. I love the fact that, you know, number one, I still love what I do for a living. And I don't just mean this. I mean the whole complete plumbing thing. I'm a very analytical person, so I love getting out and doing things. England, in college for plumbing. Rags, good for you, man. That is fantastic. Rags, what time is it over in England right now? England kid, America. CLB OVO, Kentucky, 7th grade. Congratulations, man. You're learning plumbing soon. Toronto, plumbing and retail wholesale, hoping to network into an apprenticeship. Man, and understands what networking is. That's phenomenal. My wife, Julie, and I, we own a networking partnership with a region down in San Antonio and Houston, or down in Houston, the Houston region, and we love networking. So I like that. New Zealand was plumbing labor, but now jobless. Lennon Smith, you can find a job plumbing, bro. There's a lot of them. Middle Georgia, a handyman. And look, I want you to know right now, Austin, I don't bash all handymen. And I'm not even sure what licensing requirements are in Georgia. So it's kind of funny. Plumber from Utah, Fort Smith, Arkansas, truck driver, Oregon, wanting to get in the trades. Thumbs up button has been completely obliterated. I love it. That must mean we have 1 million likes already. That is so cool. Super chat from JP says, can you please explain plumber versus pipe fitter trade? Man, I love this. And there's probably not a lot of plumbers out there that can explain this the way that I do. And I can because I was in the union. And not only was I in the union, I was an instructor. So I taught plumbers, pipe fitters, and welders. But also I was a superintendent on some of the bigger jobs. And I actually had electricians, HVAC techs, plumbers, pipe fitters, and welders on my crews. So pipe fitters are normally the guy that put the larger steel pipe together for the welders. And when I say larger, it could be anything from 1.5 inches up, but it's mainly steel pipe. Plumbers normally, if we do a bunch of steel pipe, it's mainly threaded for gas lines, but we normally work with copper, PVC, stuff like that. Pipe fitters actually work, cut, bevel, face, get everything together and ready and set up for the welder to weld. Then they go in and clean it up afterwards. It's really a pretty interesting job. But I tell you what, man, it's a lot of fun because, JP, I got to tell you, as a plumber, whenever I got into the union, I didn't know much about pipe fitting, but I was learning it and I got really excited about it. I'd actually asked the president of my company, or vice president, if I could go back through the apprentice training program as an apprentice as a pipe fitter because I wanted to learn it. He said no. He said they're never going to let you go through there because you're a journeyman plumber. But, man, pretty interesting. Arulu, I detached my bicep and had to reattach it down at the radius bone. They drilled a hole through it. Pretty wild. Dion Potgasters from South Africa, qualified electrician and working on a farm at the moment. Also teaching himself refrigeration. Dude, you learn refrigeration, you got it made. Refrigeration is a great, it's a great skill. It's a great education. But people that can really do refrigeration good, like ammonia and gases like that, they make a lot of money. Again, If y'all have any questions, please jump into the forum, go up to the top, click on it. It'll take you over to a Google Doc. Just fill it out, put your question in there, and I'll start getting to those here in just a moment. Temptation drumming. How are we doing today? Austin, Texas. I'm still in school and I'm doing some home DIY stuff after watching some of your videos with tips and such. So you say still in school. Are you in high school, public school, stuff like that? Or do you mean the school, the University of Texas? That's what it's all about. Try and jump back up in here and see. Man, my thing jumped on me. So I'm not sure. There we go. I found it. Germany and doing IT. Marcus Stringle, my brother does IT here in Dallas. He's actually real big. He's like a senior vice president for a big financial company. He does system implementation and design, and man, he's pretty good at it. Speedy recovery, I hope, is on the way. Yep, sheet metal in Ontario, Canada. I love it. UK Sheffield tow truck driver. New York City plumber. Want to become a plumber. I love it. I mean, I'm glad. Patrick, I'm glad you watch a lot of my videos. Tell me what your favorite part is. What am I doing right? But Patrick, while you're telling me that, also tell me what I'm doing wrong. Blair says 18 pools and hot tubs in Hamilton, Ontario. And pools and hot tubs in Canada. See, when you're in Texas at 100 degrees, that makes perfect sense. When you're in Canada and y'all have ice all the time, I'm thinking pools and hot tubs. But then again, I guess that water would always seem warm. Ruben says Washington getting in the trade for diesel mechanics. Do y'all have your volume turned up on your phone or something? I'm hearing an echo. All right, let me try to, and I don't have a mouse over here, so I can't do that. Need that drone on my shoulders. You shouldn't do that. I want to make sure that I got volume turned down right over here. Sorry, guys. I don't know where I'm getting the test 1, 2. It's gone now. Thank you. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, you need that done on your shoulders, man. No doubt. Getting in the trades for diesel mechanics. Fantastic career. North Carolina electrician, but you're currently sick. I tell you what, number one, brother, I hope you get better. And I say brother, sister, whatever. The doctor, I like that. Electrician, plumber, HVAC tech, roofer. You hear me say the trades a lot because what I teach people to do, how to get into an apprenticeship, works all across the trades. And if you're not going through a formal education through PHCC, through the union, something like that, you can literally take out the word plumber and put in electrician, roofer, HVAC technician, all kinds of different things. So, man, welcome. Glad to have you here. Brandon Connolly, good to see you. Dan S. says, you get better soon, man. I am working on it. Rehab today was just a ton of fun. And I say that facetiously. Okay, pollution. I've had both rotator cuffs worked on, so trust me, man, I get it. Brandon Connolly's in Kentucky. Good deal. England Carpenter. Grayson, I don't think it'll let me show your comment. And I think it's when you start putting in emojis that it messes the system up. Montana. Okay, I love this. Steve Harlow, man, good to have you in here, brother. 26 years in Oahu, Hawaii for the last 12 years. Detroit, Michigan for the previous 14. I think going from Detroit to Oahu, you made a wise decision. I actually talked to a friend of mine earlier. He does leak detection over there. He's got to go do leak detection tomorrow. I believe it's at maybe a golf resort. It may just be a resort. Yeah, he'll go make $15,000 tomorrow to tell them where the leak is. Pretty cool deal. Atomic Shrimp King says, problem with water in my sink. When I turn on the cold water, the water smells foul. Turn the hot water on, it doesn't smell at all. Normally it's the other way around because you normally get bacteria build up in the water heater storage tank. So it Normally it's the other way around. I would try just flushing the heck out of your line or calling the city and asking them. Check with your neighbors, see if they have a smell. Brandon Conley says, I don't like what I'm doing. Yeah. Sorry, brother. Sorry you're jealous. And I know you're joking. Corpus Christi, Texas. Raccoon, good to have you in here. That said Raccoon. Raccoon, good to have you in here. Rags, yeah, you're about 6 hours ahead of us, man. Normally we get, I don't know if you know the Urban Explorer, Neil. Get him in here. Great guy. He's over in the UK. First year plumbing course in England, and you're 16. Man, that is fantastic. So how did you guys find out about me? I got Nathan York and Rags in here in the same course together. How did y'all find out about me? And I mean, do your other classmates know about me? Do they get in and watch? How did y'all find out about a plumber over here in Dallas, Texas? Just curious. You should start the Wakefield Academy and make sure the next generation is plumbing in good hands. Man, boy, and that's the truth. Nags Head, North Carolina. Man, we have got a ton of people in here from all around the world. Where'sdale, Florida. Matt Damon in Elysium. Wait, that bracelet looks like, okay, I was going to say, wait a minute. School in Kentucky. Man, we got a lot. Currently do electrical, HVAC, and a little bit of plumbing and carpentry. Fantastic. Speaking of welding, have you seen Forged in 5? I have not. Got plumber in Ontario. Can I be a plumber if I'm gay? Absolutely. On the 9th in New Zealand, I was 10:20 on the 9th. Oh, wow. And you are ahead of us, 10:20 in the morning. Makes sense why I got New Zealand people in here. Yeah, and we've got a digital magazine. Joyce put the links in there. We've got all kinds of different things we're doing trying to teach people plumbing. Not just plumbing, but the trades. We've got stuff that we're working on to help people. Those of y'all that are in here now, and it looks like we've got a couple of people in here. If you want to, we're starting a new YouTube channel. It's called The Trade Talks. You can go to, and I don't know if Julie can put a link in here. Neil normally does stuff like that. Grayson may be able to. But you can open up another tab, open up YouTube, go in and search The Trade Talks, sort it or filter it by channel. That way you'll see it. And it's got my red logo. It's the one like this, which says The Trade Talks. I've got headphones on and stuff like that. We've got about 300 subs, which is kind of what we wanted to get at before we started really putting content out there. And I know that's a different way to do it, but we're doing it. And it's working. We've got about 300 subs, fixing to start making some really good content over there. And that's one I'm looking forward to. I am actually going to jump over in the forum real quick. We've got a lot of questions already in here. So guys, if y'all have some questions, please jump over into the forum and there we go. There's the first one. First one is from Buddy. Says, low toilet bowl level in bungalow on main floor, one in basement. Tank fills up fine, but water in bowl has been decreasing slowly over months. You know, I would just check and make sure that your dip tube, your fill tube, everything's flowing like it should. You've got the toilet level adjusted good in the house, and you don't have a bad vent. If you've got a bad vent pipe and you flush your toilet, like if you go up and plug that vent, it'll create an S trap. And that can cause it to literally start sucking that water down out of the trap. If it ever sucks down too low, you're going to get a bunch of sewer gas back up through the toilet, and you don't want that. Fat Rabbit, man, we spent a lot working on this logo. And I don't know if you're talking about this one or the one for the Trade Talks. The one from the Trade Talks is freaking pretty sharp too. Got to tell you, we love our logo. And I just saw that, so thank you. And little Tris, thank you for jumping in here. Next question over in the forum. Guys, remember, if you got questions, jump over into the forum, put them over there, and we will get them. Jaden says, not sure what trade he is. What do you think about composting toilets? You know, I've seen one. I've never installed one. I had a lady looking at one time, and you know, look, if you're in an area where you don't have good sewage, it may not be a bad thing. So they're going to take less water. But they also take work. But I got to tell you, I think in the future, anything that we can do to save water, we're all going to be doing. I'm a lead AP, so I completely get water conservation, but it's going to be fun to kind of see what all the world does go to. Patrick says, if you're doing a job in a house, how do you find the water mains to turn off the water before you start the job? Yeah, it's funny because I did an interview earlier and actually talked to a guy, and it's really interesting because just here lately, as plumbers in Texas, we've always been able to turn off the water at the water meter. Now municipalities are starting to say, hey, that's our valve. The problem is, if there's a flood at a house, now if we pull up and the house is flooding, we got to tell them to call the city and wait for the city to turn the water off. And to me, that's just ridiculous. The state licenses us to make sure that we know what we're doing. And I think turning off water at the meter is a pretty simple deal for most of us. So the fact that we're going to have to sit there and watch our customers lose money because of a city, if I was a homeowner, I would sue the city and say, hey, I pay for that meter. You charge me for it every month. I'll turn it off when I want to. That's one I'm going to have to work on. Asher says, what do you think about bath bombs? Well, if you talk the ones that you put in your bathtub that fizzle and make pretty smelly, bubbly water, that's a cool thing. If not, don't know what bath bombs you're talking about. The Podcaster says, ammonia refrigeration does seem dangerous, though. I'm working with R134, R22, and 410A at the moment. Seems like most new refrigerants use R600A, also sketchy. And Dion, I'll tell you, I went to school as an HVAC technician. I got certified. I got my license. I don't have my basically my master endorsement where I can do it. So I don't do anything with it. Never really did. But I got to tell you, man, ammonia, stuff like that, that's where the big bucks are. So if it's ever anything you want to get into, great thing to learn. Tristan says, if a basement gets flooded and there is no drainage, how do you get it out? With a pump. There should be a sewer ejection pump. There should be a drainage pump. There should be a lot of things down there. Doesn't always happen, but it is what it is. David Hallbrook, howdy from Mountain Plumbing Products. Hello to you. Good to see you in here. Guys, if you got questions, please jump over in the forum, put them in there. Just kind of jumping over in the chat to say hello to people every now and then. Sean Strong is correct. Brother, there is a party going on. One of my great moderators. Good to have him in here. Good to see you, brother. You were missed last week. Arm is getting better. We've kind of been talking about it a little bit. Went in for my first day of physical therapy today, so that was kind of a lot of fun. And really, it was just slight range of motion. They really don't want me doing anything crazy. So it was a lot of fun. All right. Back over in the forum with another question. Trevor. This is a quick question. 40-year-old toilet, and I need to clean out all the jet holes. The ones at the very top are on the bowl and the one in the very bottom. The one on the bottom is completely clogged, and I don't know how to open it back up. Is it better to just go ahead and replace it? Me, as much labor as you're going to spend, I would replace it. Here's my thought. There's a lot of calcium and magnesium built up in there. What's going to happen is, number one, you've got to get at least those holes cleaned out enough to get like some CLR, some kind of a gel type cleaner that you can squirt up in there that'll spread out and stay. If you just squirt a liquid up in there, it'll come right back out. But what you can do is, CLR, sizzle, all kinds of different things. And, hopefully that'll clear it out enough it'll work. But I'm telling you, as much work as you're looking at, I think I would just replace it. back over in the forum. How's everybody doing today? This is Monday, and I got to tell you, after being out week before last with COVID, running like crazy to get caught up during the week, this last week, and now, man, I was up here studying all weekend, either here or at home, getting ready for a bunch of things that we're working on. And it's some things I talked about last week, and I kind of talked about it later in the show last week. But here's what I'll say is, what would anybody in here, because we've looked at it different ways, we've looked at some different ideas, and since Julie's in here, the neat thing about it is she's helping me a lot. We're looking at trying to put together like a monthly study group together, a monthly thing where we can all get together. I can teach about plumbing, the trades, either how to get into the trades or how to be a better apprentice, how to be a better journeyman, the things to study to help you grow. If you're a tradesperson and you want to open your own company, the things to do there. And if you already own your business and it's something that you're thinking you would like to learn how to use social media to make it grow. So we're looking at 4 different things we're talking about doing. My question for you is that something any of y'all would be interested in? We're still going to do the live here, but what we've talked about doing is once a month, like 1 hour a day, take 4 different groups and go through and do a class, do a training, but then do a Q&A. And it's going to be on like a Zoom call or something where they can actually look at me, talk to me, listen to me, see what I'm doing, and go from there. If that's something anybody in here would be interested in, let me know. And the only reason I say that is that we're still trying to figure out what we want to do and how we want to do it. Nico says, what do you think about polybutylene pipes? Yeah, I agree with you. Polybutylene is a pipe we used to put in back in the 80s and 90s. Problem is chlorine literally messed it up. It made it brittle, made it crack, made it leak. We don't even repair it anymore. We just tell them, look, we got to replace this line. The reason being, it's just, man, there's too many chances of us getting in there trying to fix it and it cracking somewhere else, and then we've got more problems. Blair says, doing all right for Monday, first day at work in week, spent the day screening resumes, setting up job interviews. Good for you. And Julie Wakefield is my wife. Not only that, she's my boss. Please be very nice to her, y'all, because I'm the one that gets to live with her. Alex Osborne, glad you're using my videos and studying for the test. Good for you. Man, work has not slowed down. Even last year, it slowed down a little bit, but to be honest, it's been swamped this year. It's literally been crazy. Shout out to the Julie Wakefield. I know, Sean, you're special, brother. Okay. And look, if y'all hadn't seen the Nightbot subreddit there, Nightbot, number one, Nightbot rocks my world. Here's what I'll tell you is we do have a subreddit, Roger Wakefield Posts. We actually, Sean, made a video yesterday for Wet for the conference, and we took pictures and videos off of our subreddit. So if y'all hadn't been there, check out the Nightbot. Go to reddit.com, subreddit Roger Wakefield. There's a link right there. You can just click on it and go over there and join. That way you can see what all we're talking about. But man, got some pretty cool stuff. Aaron, you're welcome. Isaac Brahms, man, love you in Sweden. That's cool. And the cool thing is, and let me ask y'all about this, because number one, I asked y'all earlier, if there's anybody in here, if we started doing courses like that, and not really a course, but just a monthly Q&A. It's basically I go in and teach and talk about one of those 4 categories for 30 minutes to an hour, somewhere around in there. Then I leave 30 minutes to an hour for Q&A. Is that something anybody in here would be interested in? Because we're still trying to figure out what to do and if that's the one that we want to do. And if it is, it's something we're talking about doing. So just curious as to what y'all think. I'm everybody's favorite e-girl. Just it is what it is. Back over in the forum, guys, if you have any questions, please put them over here. Mr. David Johnson says, pre-apprentice plumber. Any backup ideas if you don't get the apprenticeship? Well, number one, don't give up that easy. And keep trying. If you don't get into an apprenticeship, go to an open shop, contact PHCC in your area. I've actually got a meeting to talk to them and talk to them later this week. So really interesting. Hepatitis shots are always current. That's a big deal. Sorry about that. I want to make sure that I got that one answered, and I did. All right. Guys, if y'all have questions, please jump over into the forum, go up to the top of the chat, click on the forum, go over there, ask your question. I am scrolling through them, knocking them out quickly. Okay, next one is from Craig. Craig says, hi again, Roger. Just want to get your thoughts on mechanical vents. I fitted in a few in your house, and there's some sinks that were not connected to the stack. I think the air admittance valves are good, and I think that there's a place for them. I don't know that, when they first came out, plumbers hated them, and for good reasons. And I actually had to go change one out one day because it was allowing water to come out in a ceiling between two floors. And there was nothing upstairs. I'm sorry, I said between two floors, in the ceiling below the roof. And I don't know why they didn't just penetrate the roof and put a vent up there, but they didn't. And it turned out to be a problem. So, man, as long as they're in a position where you can get to them, you can see them, you can keep an eye on them, you can make sure they're not leaking, I think you'll be okay. Jonathan Ramirez says, hey, Roger, my question is, can you transfer to another union if you move out to a state if you're in the apprenticeship and you complete it? Absolutely. Even if you're in an apprenticeship, if you're, say, 3/4 of the way through, so you're your fourth year, and you or your family decide to move from Texas to California, you can have your training director contact the training director there, see if they have any positions open. They can transfer your transcript, let them see what you're doing, what your grades look like, what your attendance look like, and things like that. So yes, absolutely. You can transfer as a journeyman or an apprentice. And either way, you'll either need to talk to your business agent, your business manager, or your training director. And Virgil, if you want to go ahead and put that one up, you can. I'll get to it here in just a second. Tyler says, I have a toilet that makes a dripping sound and we can't figure out where it's coming from. Any tips to fix it? Tyler, this is good. Where do you hear the dripping sound? Because most dripping sounds, if you hear it, you should be able to see it either in the tank or in the bowl. If you can't, what I would be looking at is it when hot water's running? Is it a thermal expansion you're hearing in the wall? There could be a lot of different things. But, man, normally if you can hear water dripping, you can see it. That's why I ask. And Chilix Vibe says, I'm starting in the shop tomorrow. Any advice? Absolutely. Number one, always pay attention. You're going to have a boss. You're going to have a foreman. You're going to have a journeyman you work for. Ask them questions. Learn. Study. Try to make sure that you are doing everything they want you to do. And, man, I thought we were doing it. I got enough people in here. Look, I got 107 people, and I don't know if y'all are all subscribed or not. Here's what I'm going to ask y'all to do. I'm at 267,957 subscribers. I need 43 subscribers to break the 268 number. So if you're in here and you're not subscribed, do me a favor, go subscribe. But number two, come down here in the comments and let me know why you're not subscribed yet. And the only reason I'm asking is, of course, you always want people to subscribe to your channel because that way they get notified when you're making good videos, when you're doing things, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you're not subscribed, do me a favor, tell me why. And I'm just curious because everybody growing a YouTube channel, of course, wants subscribers. So I'm just going to say, if you're not subscribed, do me a favor, let me know why. And Tyler, I hope that answers your question and helps you a lot. And actually, I've got a question for y'all tonight, and this is kind of different. And here's why. My sister has a house down in Austin, Texas, and she is on well water. Now, we don't deal with a lot of well water up here. If any of y'all deal with people with well water, I want to know what type whole house water filtration system, water treatment system do y'all use or do you recommend? Sorry about that. I needed some cold water. All right. Next one here is from Ryan. Ryan says, I have a problem with my sink. If you turn on the cold water, okay, we talked about this one a while ago. Man, I would contact the city and I would contact my neighbors and ask them if they're having the same problem. If your neighbors are, I would definitely contact the city. If your neighbors aren't, it just may be there's parts of your house that the water, man, you may have a funky air gap, drip leg, or not air gap, air chamber, different kind of things. I don't know. But and bacteria in the water, and that's what made me think about it. My sister, they've got bacteria in their filter system, on their water filtration system. They're looking to change it out and upgrade it. And they were talking to me, so I was just asking if there's anybody in here that has any firsthand information that they could help me with. That's why I love what we do here. Alex Prothman, good to see you in here. Not roofer or exterior grade sheet metal. Not roofer, more exterior grade sheet metal, okay. Wanted to know if any companies have approached you about supporting your channel. Yeah, as you see, I've got the Ferguson logo over my shoulder right here. Ferguson sponsors one video a week. Now, I leave that up here just because, look, I believe in Ferguson. I think that what they do is great. And I think they do a lot for the plumbing community. And if y'all are joking, man, y'all go over there and just go to Ferguson.com, open another tab and look at what all they do for plumbers. I think it's a good thing. I think that they've got a great community, and that's why I was willing to team up with them. But I haven't had a roofer or standing seam roofer or metal sheet metal roof or anything like that. But that is something that I would love. Man, I think standing seam roofing, metal roofing here in Texas, I think it's some of the coolest stuff. Miles Lunford, sorry that got by. I do appreciate you jumping in here. And by leaking faucet, you may have to change a faucet. You may have to change washers. You may have to change a hose bib. And it depends on what kind of faucet it is. If you'll just jump in the chat, mods, keep an eye for Miles Lunsford. See what kind of faucet he has. It's probably a cartridge. I'll tell you what, this is a good one too. Take a picture of it and go in and put it in the subreddit, Roger Wakefield posts, and take a picture of it and ask that question in there. The reason being, you can put in a picture of the faucet, you can take a video of it, you can do some different things. And man, if I don't see it, people like Sean Strong, different people will, but you'll get that question answered. Me right now, man, that's a tough one to answer because there's so many different types. So yeah, Ferguson reached out to me again, Alex, just so you know. Ferguson reached out, or I reached out to another company that was related to Ferguson. They ended up sponsoring my channel, one video a week. They bring in other people or products for me to use and try stuff that they sell. And look, I love Ferguson, always have. I think that they're a good company. I think that they rep a lot of great products. So that's what happens with that. But I do have other companies reaching out to me about sponsorship. A lot of them are membership organizations that I think are great, that can really help make the trades better and help trades company owners do better. So a lot of different possibilities coming up, and we are really looking forward to it. Vivian says, bought a house all copper over the years, started replacing with PEX, 20% of it's PEX. Should I just change out all the copper to PEX over a long weekend? Some of the copper is getting crusty. Yeah, if it's getting crusty, absolutely. Uh, and I don't know that I've ever seen copper get crusty. I know that some copper is made with a lot of impurities in it, and that'll cause leaks. Uh, the good thing about it is, we got PEX out now. We can change it out. One thing I will tell you is if you're using crimp PEX, make sure you upsize your lines one full size. That way you don't get any flow restrictions that you're mad about later. I had this conversation earlier, so trust me, I get it. Will Calderhead says, I'm in union for plumbing right now, but I'm not learning anything. My instructors haven't even had a Zoom class yet. It seems like a waste of money. What do I do? Okay. Number one, when you say a waste of money, if you're in a union, why is it costing you money? Just out of curiosity, because the guys here, when they sign up, now they may have to pay for books or something, but number one, I'd contact the national organization, the United Association, and say, hey, I'm not getting any training. This is part of my union, part of my membership. Please help me. Benny, I'm not adopting any more children. I got 3 total, and that's enough for me. And I'll get back to my arm a little bit. And there's standard plumbing code, the IPC, the UPC, there's all kinds of fun stuff out there. Well, I would, number one, contact your school. And are you talking the UA or are you talking PHCC? Well, if you will just leave a comment over in the chat and let me know. I don't know if you saw that other one coming up, what type faucet it was. It just says very slowly dripping. I don't see what type it is. If you can scroll up for that, Miles Lunford, and see. All right, next question over in the forum. Emmanuel Maldonado, how are you? How to make more money as a first-year plumbing apprentice. Man, this is good because this is the content that I'm talking about doing in this weekly meetup. And really it'll be monthly because there'll be 4 different levels. There'll be apprentices and journeymen that want to open their own company, and then company owners that want to learn to use social media. But that's one that we're talking about because when I was in the union, or I'll take a minute to preach here. So I'm going to get up on my soapbox. Y'all get ready for it. And no, Benny, I'm not adopting you. I know I already said that. I just want to make sure you understand. So, my thing is when I got in the union, I saw the kind of training that they were getting, but I also saw how many people weren't taking advantage of it. They learned a lot of cool stuff. They just weren't really doing anything good with it. When I got in the union, I got every endorsement on my license that I could get. First one was MedGas. Then I got my master license. Then I got my master MedGas. Then I got my WSPS. I got my multi-purpose residential fire protection. I got so many different things, but I also learned construction management. I also started learning leadership skills. How do I make the world a better place? And how do I teach people how to do better jobs? And how do I learn how to run better jobs? A lot of different things like that. You can go ahead and put that up. Do a lot of different things like that. And when you start bringing more value to your company, you make more money. So that's why I said, I think that really this, I'll make sure I get your name up again. Emmanuel Maldonado, this is probably the best question tonight because there's nobody in here that can't learn from this question. How do you make more money? What do you have to do to make more money? And even as a first-year apprentice, here's what I would tell you is learn your skill. Ask the journeyman questions, learn how to do it, get really good at it, and learn to where they don't need to do it. You can do it because then they can do something else. And when you do this as a first-year plumber, learn and grow. Man, you're in the very beginning, but I will tell you this. After I really started learning and trying to get better, man, at some points I was making double scale, meaning at one point scale was 25 an hour. I was making over 50. And guys, anybody can do that. If you're willing to educate yourself, bring more value to the people you work for, you can do it. But anyway, those are the kind of classes that we're trainings that we're talking about putting together. That's why I asked if that's the kind of stuff that anybody would be interested in. please put in hashtag yes. We're trying to put the syllabus together right now, but we want to make it wonderful. Blair Scouton, thank you for the super chat. Says, got a jet for an hour or so. Mom needs some help with some stuff. Have a great rest of the live stream if I don't make it back before you're done. Blair, thank you so much for being in here. I really do appreciate it. And man, when you got to help mom, you got to help mom. I completely get it. Emmanuel, great question. And I love that because that's why I started doing what I do is, look, I started making videos to teach people how to fix their own plumbing. Then I started realizing we have people that want to get in the trades and people that want to get better in the trades in here. The neat thing about it is, look, I want to help those people. And how do I do it? Well, you do it by giving them value. But the cool thing is the things that I teach, the things that I learned how to make more money. Yeah, man, you said it right there. Bring value and the money will come. And guys, look, I don't know where you're going to learn it, but learn it somewhere. It doesn't have to be from me. Go get a book. Go to I was going to say go to the library. Get online. Do they even have libraries anymore? I know they do. You have literally got to get better at what you do. And go back to Jim Rohn. And guys, look, I know I'm getting off plumbing right now, but when I started learning leadership skills, my whole world changed. And the reason I say that is that one morning coming in listening to Jim Rohn says, look, I started looking at what I put into my head. He says, I used to get up and I used to watch the news every morning, and you hear about crime, unemployment statistics, rape, robbery, murder, all these things going on. He said, and I'd put all this in my head every morning, and then I'd go into work and I'd expect to get good stuff out of it. And I want you to listen to me here, because what he said hit me like a ton of bricks. He said, it's like trying to make a cake with concrete mix. If you put bad stuff in, you're never getting good stuff out. And that's when I literally started looking at, wait, I want to look at what I'm putting into my mind. What am I learning? What am I listening to? Who am I listening to? And when I started doing that, crazy. Just got your first plumbing job as a gay man. You know what? Here's my deal. And it's funny because I've had this question before, so don't think I'm picking on you. I've had people ask me, look, I'm gay. Can I get in the trades? I'm female. Can I get in the trades? I've only got one arm. Can I get in the trades? I don't read good. I'm dyslexic. Whatever it is. The only thing that should keep you from getting in the trades is you. Because to be honest, during the day, me and you are working side by side. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do at night. I don't care what you do whenever. Black, white, purple, green, I don't care. Man, can you help me put this piece of pipe in? That's what I need. And I need somebody with that mental mindset. And the neat thing about it is when you start learning and thinking like I'm talking about, when you start putting the right stuff in your mind, other people see it. Other people look at you and they're like, wow, I want to be like that. Because you start thinking ahead. You start looking at your job like, okay, what all do I need to get this done quicker? Because if you get it done quicker, you bring more value to your company. And when you do things like that, it's crazy. And just to tell you another quick story from being in the union. I remember being on it was my second union job. And I was new to the union, didn't know anybody in the union. I literally just applied, got accepted. And I did know somebody, but he worked for another company. And he wasn't a long-term union member, so there was nothing great there. But I went out to a job for one of the top superintendents for this company. And, man, I made him a hand. And that's what I call it. If you can make him a hand, you're good. And about 6 weeks later, he came up to me and he said, and it's at lunch one day. And he said, man, look, he says, I hate to do this. I said, you're cutting me loose, aren't you? Because that's the way the union does sometimes. When a job slows down, they cut labor, they send them to other jobs, or they send them back to the shop, whatever it is. So what I'll tell you is that he came up, he said, man, look, yeah. He said, I'm cutting you off this job. He says, but I called Ronnie, who was the vice president at the company I was at. He said, I called Ronnie and told him, don't let you go anywhere. He said, you're a hand. He said, I hate cutting you because you make me money. He said, I hate cutting you because you make me look good. He said, but it's either you or this other plumber, and he's been here at the company 10 years, and he's a foreman. He said, but you do better work than he does. So if you can put yourself in that kind of position where that's what kind of plumber you are, where you're the plumber that when you come out, you're there to work, you're there to get things done. And guys, when I say plumber, I mean plumber, electrician, roofer, HVAC tech. I don't care what kind of work you do. When you're that guy that you show up, you work your butt off every day. And I don't mean break your back. I don't mean run. I just mean, you know what? You're getting paid for 8 hours, work for 8 hours. It's not that big a deal. That's what you're there to do. And let me tell you what, when you come in with that mindset, with that attitude, with that desire, your days go by so fast because you're trying to get a lot done. And all of a sudden you look down, you're like, wow, this day's over. And man, I'm just getting rolling. I feel good. And I just got to tell y'all, if you can learn to change your mind like that, it's crazy. Christopher McCullough, I met Gary V at Vid Summit in 2018, and it was really pretty cool. Good question here. Rick Anderson says, is it worth changing the anode rod? And is it harder to change the Bradford whites when the inlet part of the rod? And it's actually on the outlet part of the rod, but yes. Here's and I'll teach you a trick. And I know this, and yes, it's worth changing. And I know this because I went through iTech at Bradford White. And look, I think Bradford White is a phenomenal water heater. Me getting to go through iTech and study up there, get to look at their new tankless water heaters, which I've got one I got to get put on the wall here. Getting to look at their new tankless water heaters, their gas, their electric, their solar, everything, phenomenal. But then to talk to them about things like anode rods and why it's important and what the big deal about them is, and then to go into the plant and look at where they're doing demolition and finding out what's wrong with them, I think it's phenomenal. Sorry, guys. Cold water, great thing to have. Okay, so here's my trick for you. Okay, so Rick, if you take like a black tee, threaded tee, after you disconnect the outlet side on the hot water, screw that black tee on until the dielectric union, and I want to say breaks. It doesn't break, but it breaks the thread connection. So tighten it till the dielectric union turns, then loosen it back up. You'll be surprised how easy it comes out then. And then once you get it out, you can take a pipe wrench, put it on the dielectric union, take your tee off so you save it, then put the new rod in. Great stuff. Sorry about the cough, guys. Julie, help a brother out. Okay. Back into the forum real quick. I do love building things. Natty says, elaborate on gay plumbers, cons, and pros. Hello from the Dominican Republic. There's nothing really to elaborate on. It doesn't matter. To me, having a gay man next to me, a black man next to me, what's the difference? And I don't mean that they're the same or anything like that, but there's no difference. They're a man. Are you here to do the job or not? A woman, it doesn't matter to me. Can you rebuild that water heater? That's what I need done. If you can do it, you're hired. So things like that. Lori, will you fill this up too? Sorry guys, my boss came in to take care of me. Chris, and she's not in, we're actually at the plumbing company. This is my studio. And I know y'all are going to hear this cough drop bounce around in my mouth, and Julie hates that. but she brought them to me, so she can't get mad. So the cool thing about it is, and I understand, elaborate on gay plumbers, cons and pros. There's no pro, there's no con. Either one. It's a man or a woman. Gay, bisexual, lesbian, whatever it is, doesn't matter to me. Are they a plumber? Can they do the job? Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If I had a female plumber come in right now, she says, look, I'm black, I'm gay, and I'm female. Can I get a job? I don't know. Can you plumb? Because that's the only question that matters. So, yeah, give me that too. So anyway, that was an easy one. And I got a female black guy. Is that politically correct? I mean, does that sound, when you came to work for me, did you look at me and say, oh my God, he's a white guy? When am I ever? First time ever, right here. Write it down, y'all. Politically correct Roger, first time. Okay, Nettie, I think, yep, that's the one I just answered. Okay, next one in the forum. Chris, what makes a handyman better or worse than a plumber? Here we go. All right, I'm going to get up on my soapbox here. Nobody's ever said, let me correct that. I have never said plumbers or handyman, either one are better. I say that if handyman in a state that requires a license are fixing plumbing, they shouldn't. I'm a plumber, and I'm not going out and fixing somebody's electrical outlet. I'm not going to change a ceiling fan. Don't get me wrong, I do it at home. I know how to do it, but I'm not going to do it for a customer. I'm not licensed to do that. So that's my only thing. There may be handymen out there that can install water heaters better than a plumber. That's fine. Go get a license if it's required in your state, because if it is required and you don't have it and something does happen and the insurance company comes back and says, well, what's the plumbing company that installed it? We want to talk to them. If it wasn't a plumber, there is no insurance. They're not covered because the handyman did not follow the law. So that's why I look at it like I do. Go the one right below that, Virgil. Go the one right below the one you're on. Yeah, put that one on there. See, that's what it's all about right there, Sean Strong. And it's funny because I get on a rant and a roll, and I'm gonna love this one here. So, and Marcus, I just see the beginning of it. It says, woman might be an issue with physical strength, but if you can make that up with training or agility, ain't nothing stopping you from plumbing. Okay, I thought you were going to say, look, if it's a woman, she can't. Man, agree. Mark says, and color. Once again, the drain pipe explodes. You're all looking the same way. Yeah, when that sewer line explodes and you're all covered in poop, you're all the same color. It really don't matter. And you know what? You're all either gay or straight. It really don't matter. You're male or female. It really don't matter. At the end of the day, man, the only thing that matters is, are you a plumber? Can you plumb? Do you have a license? Do you have the skill sets? And Marcus, you're right on the fact that, look, maybe they don't have the strength, but I've seen a lot of women that can outwork men because of smarts. They may need help, but you know what? I try to send an apprentice out with my journeyman now to set water heaters. I don't want one man setting a water heater or one woman. So I would do the same for a female. Yeah, I know women that are very strong too. Yeah, Julie can whip me. Amber Mendoza, she's very strong, and an apprentice now too. See, I've got two apprentices in here with me that I always forget about. Julie and Amber are both licensed or registered plumbing apprentices in Texas. Chris, I hope that answered your question. Man, I'm one of these people. I truthfully think that whoever, why didn't I think of that earlier? Whoever is working on, I guess, no, I can't do that. Wrong keyboard. whoever is working needs to be able to do whatever job it is. If it's a water heater, I mean, like I said, it really doesn't matter. As long as they can do the job, and nothing else matters. All right, Andrew. Well, I like that. While on the jobs, you have a hard time telling guys what to do on the job site, or do you have to go over that in the briefing? We normally handle stuff like that in the briefing. I don't have to be on every job. That's why I hire licensed plumbers. That way they can do it. They can run things. They can make things happen. I normally don't go out to the jobs unless they have a problem or unless there's something that I need to look at and see. So, man, but I don't have a hard time telling them what to do. There's certain things that, and I talked about this in an interview earlier. There are certain things that, we don't use shark bite fittings, and I want my guys to know that. And even though I have had some that used it, all right, guys, I'm 27 subs away. Help a brother out. If you're not subscribed, please go subscribe. We're trying to hit 268 today, and we are that close. I promise you'll get value out of it, because if you'll subscribe and ring the bell, man, I'm going to keep bringing value and videos and stuff like that. So it's huge. Yeah, I like this. Acoustic DC says, I never asked a tradesman at my house what their gender or sexuality is. I asked him how much and how fast. And I hope you're talking about plumbing. No, I'm joking. Acoustic DC, I love that. It doesn't matter. And it's funny. I mean, think about it. I went to see a physical therapist today, and there's 3 or 4 of them in there. There's 3 girls and about 5 guys. And, the thought of, are they straight or gay, never crossed my mind. I don't care. Can you make my elbow better? That is all I'm concerned about. So that's the way I look at it. I think everybody ought to see it that way. Isaac Brom says, I want to start in the trade of plumbing. What's the average income for a newcomer in the trade in the U.S.? Greetings from Sweden. Aha. Here's what I'll tell you. Here in the Dallas area, you can start out at about $30,000 a year, 30 to 34, depending on if you're union, if you're non-union, a lot of different things. What I'll tell you is it's not a bad way to start. Get in and learn it, and you will definitely grow from there. Sneaky Smurf says, what's up, Roger? Thank you for all the hard work you do for us. Look, I love this. Rapunzel, which comment did your mind go off tracks with? And I'm just asking because I got to know. What is Mike Tyson in the house? Yeah, I really want to know what comment was that took your mind off. All right. So anyway, I hope that, Isaac, you got that. 34,000 to start out. But I know plumbers licensed plumbers that, have had their license for a while. And I know plumbers that make anywhere from 50 to 200,000. You can go ahead and put that up if you want to. So one here, Virgil pulled up, says Silky 686, how are you doing? Good to have you in here again. Says, Roger, would you recommend being good at 2 or 3 trades? Plumbing, electrical, HVAC? Here in the United States, I'd recommend excelling at 1. And I don't remember where you're at, but here it takes about 5 years to get your master plumber's license. It should take about 5 years to get your HVAC license. It should take about 5 years to get your master electrician license. That means you can be 35 years by the time you finish getting all your license, but if you got your plumbing first, in 10 years, you're going to forget a lot of that. So I kind of look at it like, man, I'd rather be really good at 1, become a master of 1 where you can make really good money instead of just doing different ones like that. So I hope that helps you. Eric recently worked with Plumber in Charlotte. Called about sewer back floor drain dealership. Pull a clean out to snake it, and lots of debris comes out of the clean out. Of course, they wait until after they do that to say they don't clean up after themselves. Oh, I had to run them off right then. No, that's not common. And number two, I'd ask them, isn't there a clean out outside that y'all could have opened first? Because there normally is. So anyway. Aha. So now I know where this came from. Okay, so Jeep Life Adventures. I have a eat, sleep, plumb, repeat mask from you. Support when you go out to work for your dad's company, Waddle Backflow and Plumbing. Yes. I guess that was you that put the comment while ago. I didn't see it. It went by real fast. Yes, I have Aaron Legayco that works for me. Great guy. He brought your card in the other day. I was not out on the job site, but man, hello, how are you doing? I've got a 2014 Jeep Wrangler, so love Jeep Life Adventures myself. Love Sean Strong. Don't bother with electrical. You're better than that. Most people are. Okay, and Slunky86 is in Arizona. Guys, here's the deal. Know what plumbing codes, know what licensing agreements are, know everything in the state and city and things that you're in. It will always help you. Eric, first thing I'd ask them is, are there cleanouts outside that y'all could have pulled first? Yeah, and it surprises me that they didn't even. Sean, would you have cleaned up your own mess if you opened a floor drain in a building and it overflowed? Buddy Kirkland says, how much should I trust a shark bite fitting on a hot water copper line? Well, number one, I don't trust shark bites. I don't. And y'all go look at my subreddit. I don't know if it's on my subreddit or an email. Somebody sent me a deal just the other day. It says shark bite failure. Guys, I've seen them. I'm out in the field. Don't get me wrong. I'm not out in the field much, but we see them all the time. If you're installing shark bites and you're a plumber, that's a bad thing. If you're a homeowner and you're fixing it yourself, and I've had people call me that I can't get to on the weekends. I say, look, sounds like you can probably just turn the water off, cut that line, stick a shark bite coupling in to make a repair, but then call a plumber and get it fixed. So it's crazy. Sari, welcome to the stream. Good to have you in here. That's pretty funny. Jwebs13 says, my friend asked if the mustache helps block the sewage smell. And it doesn't. Not at all. Guys, if y'all got questions, please jump over in the forum. That's where I am scrolling through and answering y'all's questions. And we're always trying to find out things that we can do to help people. So, one of the things that we're looking at is, and I asked this earlier and I saw a few yeses. Just wanting to check with some other people. We're looking at doing a monthly deal to where I can sit down for about 45 minutes and actually teach plumbing, not just talk questions, but teach people how to get in the trades. That would be one group. How to get in the trades and how to become a better apprentice. The other one would be how to become a better journeyman. And look, I've worked open shop, I've worked union, I've worked commercial, I've worked new construction, residential, service. I've done it all. A lot of things that we talk about, a lot of things that I do, a lot of things that I teach literally helped us get a whole lot better. And with value comes money. The more value you can bring to your company, the more money you're going to make. And that's why we're talking about doing stuff like that. So anyway, if it's something you think y'all might be interested in, put a hashtag yes. Let me know. Where me and Julie are trying to find, and actually Amber have been trying to figure it all out, what we're going to put together, how we're going to put it together and make it happen. Seabart 1987 in the house. You got to love it. Welcome back. Okay, next question from Lyndon Smith. Roger, how hard is it to become a plumber if you're afraid of heights but love underfloor spaces? Number one, don't let anything scare you. And the reason I say that is when I first got into plumbing, I did not like getting on houses. I'd have to get up there to carry a camera, carry a sewer machine. And back then it was just really a sewer machine. But the big thing about it is once I got up there and started working, I forgot I was on a house. And, I think one thing that helped me do it too is literally go to the edge of the house and jump off. And I did. And I'm like, okay, this is an 8-foot fall. Don't get me wrong. I don't recommend that to everybody. I'm dumber than your average plumber. Yeah, Sean, clean up. The thing is that don't let fear stop you from doing anything you really want to do. I used to not like climbing under houses. Used to not like it at all. But you know what? Man, I love it. It really doesn't bother me. So there's a lot of there's a lot of things that you can do. You may go all year long and never get on a house. You may go all year long and never get under a house. Then again, you may tunnel under houses every day and say, oh my God, I love this. So don't let one thing you may be afraid of keep you from doing it. I promise you in the long run, you'll regret that worst of all. Chris Serrano says, should my water heater be raised above the floor to avoid corrosion from cleaning products? Number one, is it gas or electric? Number two, is it in a possible flammable area, meaning can vapors? A few years back, we had to start putting water heaters up on an 18-inch stand because if somebody spilled gasoline in the garage, it could get to the water heater and the fire could get out. Now they've got the, Hvac water heaters that, the flame cannot get out. Peter 07 Pal, I love that. Yeah, go down there to the very bottom one right now, if you will, and put that in. Then you can come back up to that one. I love that. Thank you so much. It's Peter 07 Pal. And yeah, I'm in the live chat, and I guess you are too. Yeah, there you go. Ooh, wrong one right there. Boom, boom. Man, let's see, I got misconfused. I read that and started laughing. Yeah, Chris, but the water heaters, if there's flammable vapors around, a lot of times they had to build them up on the stand. I don't think they have to do that anymore because of the FER water heaters. They can't. But that's why I was asking corrosion from cleaning products. Normally, cleaning products shouldn't be that strong. They'll corrode the bottom of it. But like if it's a commercial and you've got really bleaches and ammonias and stuff like that, then you may want to. I can understand that. I want to say thanks to Peter 07 Powell for the great comment. Says he works for Ferguson, as y'all see. I've got the banner right here over my shoulder. The neat thing about it is he says, I work for Ferguson. You're way better than Bradshaw was. Terry Bradshaw used to be their spokesperson, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I don't like him just because he was quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm a Cowboy fan, or at least have always been a Cowboy fan up until kneeling for the national anthem. Different things happened. But my big thing is, look, Terry Bradshaw's a great guy. I love what he's doing now, bourbon with the Bradshaws. I've actually got a bottle of his bourbon at home. It's actually really good. And Fat Rabbit, please don't ever mention Discord. Oh, man. Discord wears me out. And maybe it's just I need somebody to sit down and teach me. Man, that's a tough one. But anyway, when Ferguson started talking to me about sponsoring my channel, it was really good because Terry Bradshaw was finishing up his deal. I got invited to go to he did a big thing for Ferguson bourbon. It was what was it? God, Terry Bradshaw's bourbon and something party. Bourbon with Bradshaw. It was really pretty cool. So Peter, I'll ask you where you're located. But it was wonderful because, I got to get in, got to sit through his live stream, and it was a cool show. And I was invited by Ferguson, so thoroughly enjoyed it. But I'll tell you what, Terry's a lucky man because I have really enjoyed working with Ferguson. This is our first year that we've done this, and I just enjoy the heck out of it. I hope that there's a lot of people at Ferguson that do, but Peter, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Answered that one, jumping back over into the forum, guys. Sean says, hey, Roger, I got a weird situation where the last couple of weeks, whenever your wife would shower in one bathroom, water would condense and drip from the exhaust fan in a different bathroom. Went up to the attic. Both of them go out the roof separately and are insulated. Man, I can't figure that one out myself. As long as they're not tied together, that's a crazy one. Sean, I wish I could help you, brother. That's one that's over my head. I'm sure Sean Strong has the proper answer for it, just because he's a sharp guy. No, in fact, Rabbit, I'm playing with you. Man, I have been in training sessions before that did a lot in Discord. Man, I got lost. Peter 7, yeah, please tell California Central Coast. Okay, San Luis, good deal. Man, up there, what's the name of that plumbing company? God, I don't remember. I'll check into it. I've got a guy named Bill that owns a company up in your area. And also, are you familiar with Rooter Hero? I know that they're all over California. All right, back in the questions. Okay, yeah, I can't figure that one out. If Sean Strong's still in here, maybe you can figure that one out. Benjamin Lapreto, how are you doing? Says, swapping a toilet out. Curious what your thoughts are on the waxless toilet seals. You know, I've seen those. I haven't. Oh, that's right, Sean, you're working. I forgot about that. Sorry, brother. Didn't mean to bother you, but thank you for listening anyway. I'm sure you have the answer. You know, I have not used the waxless toilet seals just because I'm old school. Like I'm wax. I know it works. I need to get some in here and play with it and see. And I've got a thing that I'm wanting to build. I'll video it when I build it. And then it'll be cool. We'll have fun. Brendan says, Diesel Mechanic, really enjoy watching your videos on YouTube. Brendan, be very careful. You'll wake up one day and realize you want to be a plumber. So just going to throw that out there. It happens to people all the time. I mean, I've got a guy who works for me used to be in microbiology down at the Southwest Medical Center. So look, it happens. And see, I don't know about the company Discord. I just know that, man, their product, it was hard for me to use. But then again, I'm an old school guy. I'm still trying to remember how to spell social media. Sebastian DeBoard, what is the worst job you've ever had to do? And guys, this one comes up a lot. Here's the thing. I got called to do a job one time, and walking down the hall, it was, man, it is not a great part of Dallas. And you're walking down the hall in this multifamily housing, and I turned into a bathroom, and the lady sitting on a couch, she says, hey, it's back there. Didn't even get up. I walked in. There is a bathroom, a toilet that is overflowing. And when I say overflowing, the poop is piled up. Papers all over it, papers in the trash can, papers in the other trash can in the bathtub. And I'm like, how long has this been stopped up? And I said, oh my God, it's been stopped up forever. Walked outside, got on the, okay, back then y'all are a lot of young schoolers in here. Literally got on the radio, called the office because we had radios in our truck, called the office, hey, y'all need to get somebody else out here. I ain't doing it. And here's what they told me. You don't have a choice. And I got to tell you, I showed them I did have a choice. My choice was to no longer work there. So that's the worst job I ever saw. I probably should have handled it different. I didn't, but it is what it is. Group McF, man, sorry, I disagree. I've seen too many shark bites leak and cost people tons of money. So I don't let my guys use them. Some people do though. London Smith, a journeyman is just a designation. There's apprentice, journeyman, and then master here in Texas. And journeyman, you spelled it right with a MAN. It's not a gender. It's a designation. And if y'all have never seen Kick-Ass Careers, hashtag Kick-Ass Careers, Jamie McMillan is doing great things over there, helping recruit younger people, men and women, boys and girls, into the trades. But I got to tell you, man, she's doing phenomenal things for recruiting. And I think it's killer. So I love the way you spelled journeyman, spelled it correctly. But I love saying that too. It's not a gender. It's a trade, just a designation. That's all it is. Rich GT35 OR, have to run, gals and guys. Good to see you in here. Always be kinder than necessary. Amen, man. I love that. No matter what you do, always go flat out. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Group McF, no, I see that all the time. People are always like, oh man, I love shark bite fittings. Well, then you've never really used one. So no, I love it. Thank you. Cody Baker. Oh, you sucks, man. Me and you are best friends already. I'm in the irrigation trades in Round Rock, Texas, and the homeowner just got finished with, and the homeowner you just got finished with says he has a pressure loss with the irrigation system in the whole house. Do you know what that could be? Did you check the pressure coming in? Is there a pressure reducing valve that you could be starving when the sprinkler system comes on? That is very possible. I've run into dead animals in the crawl space. I've run into dead animals in the drain arms. It just happens. They can get down a vent. They can get under a house. They can do all kinds of things. Guys, if you hadn't yet, if you want to ask a question, please jump up into the forum. Go to the link over in Google Docs. Fill that out real quick. And I am asking away. Asher says, do you think the Milwaukee 2773 is more convenient than the original way to bind pipes? Whether we're, look guys, more convenient. Rigid Milwaukee, Nipco even makes press tools. Upanor's got their expansion tool. And look, I love these things. The one thing that I will tell you, Sean Strong, you're dismissed. Cody Baker, good for you, brother. The one thing that I will tell you, Asher, is I love the fact that it's going to save us labor. It's going to save us time. Water lines don't have to be completely dry. You can make a crimp or an expansion, either one with a little water in it. But the thing that I'll tell you is make sure that you upsize, because if you're using PEX fittings, you've got the reduced size of the fitting. And over a long period of time, that could really mess things up. You can reduce flow, not pressure, but flow. James Brown, fellow master plumber in Minnesota. Busy, big money. You got to love it. Flat wet vent or stack vent? You know, I like stack vents. It depends, IPC, UPC, what you're going by. Be careful. Don't get caught doing the wrong thing. It can haunt you. Miss Liz, how you doing? Good deal. Hector Villalobos, how are you, sir? Do you have any pet peeves when it comes to reading plumbing plans? You know, and Hector, that's a good question, because, yeah, my only pet peeve is really people that don't really look through all the details, meaning there are multiple drawings. And look, I used to teach blueprint reading and drawing in the union. And so many guys just don't understand that. A lot of times you have to find the answer from looking at multiple pages. Some people that just try and shortcut it and say, you know, hey this, hey that. I want to look at the numbers. I want to add them up. I don't want to just use a scale rule and say this is where this line goes. Sorry about that. Needed something wet. So anyway, that's kind of what I was looking at. That's the way That's the only pet peeve about it I have. When people don't go through and do their due diligence and look at everything. So Hector, I hope that helps you. I used to love blueprint reading. I mean, I still would if I was doing commercial. When I first started plumbing, the very first job I was on, I actually remember every time they'd throw away a set of the drawings, I'd either take the drawings with me or just take the cover page so I could study the key. I wanted to know what all the symbols meant. And man, I got really good at it. So it was really pretty cool. Loved it. Make sure I got this in, and I did. Next one is Xander. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Well, number one, man, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I am doing good. Those of y'all that don't know, I detached my bicep from my elbow January the 19th. I was literally in the surgeon's office that afternoon. The next day, I had to go in for an MRI. The next day, and that Tuesday that I detached my bicep, I woke up with floaters in my eyes, or had floaters from the week before. So I had to go to an eye doctor that morning. Then, trying to pick up lockers that morning, I detached my bicep from my elbow. Do an MRI Wednesday night so they know exactly where my bicep is, what they got to do. Thursday, I have to go in for a COVID test just so they can let me have surgery. I go in for the COVID test. They tell me I'm positive. I'm like, you're joking. I have no symptoms whatsoever. I made them do another test. It came back positive too. So then we realized, okay, I really do have a problem. Stayed home for 2 weeks and finally had surgery Wednesday last week and went in for physical therapy today. So that's what's wrong with my arm. It is getting better. Man, I'm doing good. I feel good. I think life is amazing. Thank you very much for asking. I really do appreciate it. Yes, Isaac, Farmers Branch is still there. They haven't moved it. It's crazy. It is crazy. Dallas still looks a lot the same. I will tell you this, Valley View Mall's gone. They're turning it down. It's supposed to build all kinds of cool stuff out there. Maylee Williams. Not sure how to send pictures, but do you have any idea why my shower drain looks like the pipe is made out of softish concrete? Lord, don't see any white pipe at all going down there. Take off the metal grate top thing. Starting to wonder if my house was built by crackheads, and it very well may have been. I'll tell you what I would do is I would go over to my subreddit, Roger Wakefield Posts. Matter of fact, the bot just put the link up right there. Go to the link, put some pictures in over there. I can look at it. Sean Strong goes in there. There's a lot of plumbers that go in there and look at it. You'll get a lot of comments from all kinds of things. So hope that helps. Josephine Smith's in the house. Good to see you. How are you? I'm doing wonderful. And you can go ahead and put that up, Liz. Elevated one. Look, I don't have any problem with subbing work out as long as you're subbing out to people that are licensed to do that work. And I say that because I know a lot of companies these days sub work out to people that aren't licensed. And man, to me, it's not good. As long as they are licensed and doing things the right way, I think it's okay. Danny Newsom. What is your worst customer, if not job? You know, I've my first bad review. That's my worst customer. And Sean, we always say nice things about crackheads. The neat thing is, my worst customer. I literally, we had I had rushed to do a job. Lady called. It was wintertime. The gas company had moved the meter, went to go hook it back up, and tested her system, and there were leaks in her system. And, oh no, Josephine, trust me, I'm not frowning. Life is good. I love what I do. So we go down, we test it, look at it under the house, and said, look, this is old black steel pipe. We need to do a repipe. You've got several places that look horrible. We're testing. We're finding multiple leaks. We had already given her a daily price. Said, look, for me to have a journeyman and an apprentice done, here's what it's going to take. When we figured out we're going to have to replace it, told we could have it all done the next day. She said, go ahead, do whatever you have to do. Next morning, I get up to go pull the permit so I can get it inspected. She literally, I text her and said, hey, this house is in a historic district. Now, she didn't tell us it's in a historic district. You don't really just realize it driving, pulling up. And she said, and I mean, I've still got the text. She says, do whatever you have to do. Just please, I need this gas turned on. I said, look, they're saying it could take 7 days. She said, I can't wait 7 days. I said, well, if you don't wait 7 days, I've got to go from here to the Historical Society, to City Hall, back to here, back to the Historical Society, and back to here. She says, please just do what you have to do. Now, I ran for almost a day to get all that done. Only charged her $500 because I'm like, look, she didn't see this coming. I understand. Finished the work the next day, called for inspection, got it done, sent the bill over. Lori, she calls me that night and she says, hey, I'm sitting here with the Better Business Bureau pulled up. And if you don't reduce my bill, I'm going to give you a bad review. And I said, ma'am, but that was probably not the word I used. Make sure you spell my name right, because I'm not giving you a discount. And I saved the text, the emails, everything I could. Here's what I don't like about the Better Business Bureau. Number one, they have a piss poor rating. They blow my phone up trying to get me to be a member, which I'm never going to join. And even though I proved to them, she knew what the price was before we did it. She agreed to the price before we did it. And they still let her come in and put in a bad review. Horrible. I hope my bicep's better soon too. I appreciate it. Glad you love the videos. We love what we're doing. So anyway, Danny, that's my worst customer. You know, I don't like customers that whenever you do exactly what you say, you do it for the price that you say, you do everything you say you're supposed to do. Then when it comes time to pay, they're like, well, look, I didn't realize it was going to be this high. Or, hey, I didn't realize y'all were going to get done that quick. It's like, look, it wasn't quick. It was getting the job done. That's what we agreed upon. It blows my mind when they get upset there. Corey Collette, yes, I've got a ton of videos that teach you tricks and tips about getting in the trade, doing good in the trade and stuff like that. So, man, I don't have time to go over it all here. There's a lot of videos to watch that will, I promise, help you out. You know, BL Productions, I have got tips before. Normally it's, don't smoke in bed, don't bite your fingernails, stuff like that. To the 5 people who dislike this, 1, why, 2, you're mean, 3, you're rude. Okay, so people don't know why, and I'm mean and I'm rude, but it is what it is. Oh, to the 5 people. Okay, I thought you meant me. It's like, I can handle that. It doesn't bother me. Question is, though, do we have any thumbs up? I can't even get in there and see. Oh, wait, maybe I can. 132 thumbs up. See, to me, that's pretty bad, but we're always trying to do things better. Okay, I'm trying to see what this says. Love how he said, took me a while to love it. Oh. All right, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, guys. 145 thumbs up. Okay, that looks a little bit better. All right, back in the forum real quick. Preston. I know you like bad plumber jokes, so here's one. How many plumbers does it take to screw in a light bulb? 3. A boss to tell a plumber to tell a helper to get his electrician friend to do it on the side. That is actually pretty good. I like that. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you like my content. We do have fun. Michael Godbois says, not really a question, just want to say you're a good man. Love the content you provide. Thank you. No, don't be sorry that that's not a question, brother. I will take compliments any way that I can get them. So I love it. Being on, here's the deal. Money tips, yes. We do. It's not very often, but I mean, man, I've got people that give us cookies, that give us gifts. I've had customers give us bottles of wine. I've had customers bring bottles of Jack Daniels up here and drop them off. Okay, BL Productions. I'm answering you, brother. Now, if you mean on YouTube, we don't get money tips. We get super chats. We get stickers. Yeah, Sean, it is. And if you'll just back up a little bit, it'll give me a little bit more room. So I appreciate that. Look, guys, I love what I do. Y'all don't understand this. You keep showing up. I'm going to keep doing it. I love the opportunity that I have. And that's why I'm asking about if I did the other deal where, we've got apprentices, we've got tradesmen that want to open their own company. And then we've got company owners that want to learn and grow. I think that their opportunities are phenomenal. And with the experience that I have, the history that I have, since I have done, Lori, I've done it all. Residential and commercial, service, new construction, union, non-union. I've done it all. Ringo Hayes says, I have a customer who tips in homemade Polish sausage. Fantastic. Anyway, I love what I do, and I want to do more. I want to help more. So that's why we're looking at either creating digital courses, which we've already started, but we've started talking about doing a lot of different things. Eons Co., how are you? Cyrus, good to see you in here. I'm an electrician from Denver, but I can't stop watching your videos. Might switch to plumbing. I love it. You can put that one up if you want to there, Liz. I got one more here in the foreman, then I'll get to this. How often should you replace kitchen faucets and shower heads? How do you maintain them as well? Replace them when you notice things aren't working right. The neat thing about that is that most of them are rebuildable, but look, things change, and it's really nice to look at it. Look at what's new, look at what's coming, see what you can do. Socrates Pews says, Mr. Wakefield retired from the military and looking at getting into the trades and have been looking at plumbing. Should I look at the union or just looking for a company apprenticeship? If you've already retired from the military, I'm assuming you're probably 40, 45. The union may be good if you want a pension, because number one, with a military background, that may help you get into the union. The other really cool thing about it though is, going to work for an open shop company, you can learn residential. That way, if you ever want to open your own company, now by the time you're 50, 55, look, I didn't open my own company until I was 50 years old. And we've got a lot to learn. We've learned a lot, but life is definitely getting better. So my whole big thing is, man, it's never too late. And the union, here's the deal. I've got a free mini course. And I don't know if Julie's in here, if she can still put a link up to it or not. I've got a free mini course. And if you go through it, it'll help you figure out, do you want to be union or non-union? Do you want to be residential or commercial? Do you want to do service or new construction? And things like that will help you out. 1, 2, 3 music. This is a road podcaster. Go ahead, Miss Liz. And number one, thank you for your service. I do appreciate that. Did you put the super chat up, Liz, or no? Mm-hmm. You did? Yeah. Oh, I don't see it. There you go. Zach Jimenez, how are you? Says, I work as an apprentice for a small company right now, but I've been turned into a shop guy and not really used as an apprentice. Should I stay on and keep working or go to work elsewhere so I can learn? I'd ask you, number one, thank you for the super chat. Here's what I'd ask you, Zach, is, are you learning? If you're not used as an apprentice, you probably aren't. And are they wanting you to just be a shop guy from now on? Because, and also, where are you located? Because I know in Texas, you've got to have so many hours and this and that, but you don't learn them from cleaning the shop all day. Don't get me wrong. I've got apprentices here and I need my shop worked on and cleaned a lot and different things. But at the end of the day, I want my apprentices to learn plumbing. Now, don't get me wrong. We need the shop clean. We need things taken care of. So I would ask you, what is it, just temporary, or is it something that, I mean, have they just figured out, look, you're good at the shop and you're going to end up installing a mailbox and living there forever? I hope not, but it can happen. And Julie put a link in there to Plum Study, the Thinkific deal. There's a free mini course in there. Take the free one and find out what kind of plumber you want to be. Guys, if you're thinking about getting in the trades, I recommend that to everybody. There's so many plumbers that I talked to that had no idea what kind of plumber they wanted to be before they ever got in the trade. And man, it's just kind of crazy. El Nika, thank you for the super sticker. I love those. This is cool. Jack Cochran says, I'm in the 7th grade. Could I still do that Zoom lesson you were talking about starting? Zach, you could. And here's what I'd say, Zach, though, is wait a little bit. And here's why. Or Jack, I'm sorry. I got Zach and Jack both in here. Here's what I'd say is wait a little bit. Number one, there's going to be a cost for it. It's not going to be for free. So I would say wait till you start getting to like sophomore or junior year in high school. Now, don't get me wrong. You can watch my videos and learn all kinds of cool free things. And I think that'll help you a lot. When I start talking videos in the group meetings and the training stuff like right now, this is stuff to really help people that are out looking for jobs, getting ready to go interview, all kinds of different things like that. So, man, number one, I love the fact that you're in the 7th grade and you're wanting to start learning now. I think that, man, that's admirable. I think that is so cool that you're that focused. And I think it's cool. Super Squishy. Number one, thank you for the super chat. I got figure my computer's out. There we go. Super Squishy says, what do you recommend for someone trying to get their license, but the place they have been working refuses to sign for them? Where are you located? And if you can put that in the chat real quick, I'm actually looking at the chat. To be honest, here's my thought is, if you're in Texas, because where I am, so that's kind of how I look at everything. Here's what I tell you is, contact them and ask them, hey, do I need to call the Texas State Board to get my hours, or is this something y'all can sign off on? The reason being, they really don't want you to call the Texas State Board. Okay, you're in New York. I would contact the authority having jurisdiction up there. If you're union, contact the union, and that may be your problem. Man, there's a lot of things to look at, but I would I would try to call them one more time, find out who the authority having jurisdiction is, call them and say, look, I've got an employer I work for that will not sign for my hours. What do I do? I hate that that's happening because, man, my thing is, look, You've worked for those hours. You deserve those hours. And I really wish that could happen. Okay, guys, I need 11 more subs. So I'm just going to tell y'all, man, help a brother out. We're trying to get to 6. I wish it was 600,000. 268,000 subs before we get off here today, which we've still got plenty of time. I know we'll get there. Joshua Brainley says, my wife and I are looking to move to Texas within a year. Would love to work for you. Man, if you're headed to the north central Texas area, we're in Richardson. We're just northeast of Dallas, south of Plano. Man, you pull a map out. If you're anywhere close and you're a service plumber, you know all about it. Man, looking forward to it. Yeah, Super Squishy, if you put in 10 years there, you really need to contact somebody and say, hey, what do I got to do? So you have to document your hours, because up there you don't have to have a plumbing license. You have to have a contractor's license. Isn't that correct? Jack Cochran. Jack, you start watching these videos, you watch them for the next 5 years, you're going to get out, you're going to know plumbing before you ever get a job. Xander says, your dad is a plumber in the UK. Wondering, is it worth it going and training to be a plumber, even if you don't take it further? Look, here's the good thing about it, Xander. This is a trade that can stick with you always. And I'm going to say this, and I normally don't even tell people a whole lot of stuff like this. But here's the cool thing. I got in plumbing while I was in high school. And after high school, I moved to Austin. I was plumbing down there. I literally, okay, Game Boy, watch it. I don't have to hit it. And I normally go till 5:30 anyway, so I got plenty. To be honest, I'll probably hit it if nobody here subscribes, to be honest. But the cool thing about it is, get back over and make sure. So I literally, when I moved down to Austin, I was plumbing. Then I got in the bar business. I started bouncing and bartending, and I loved it. Then I literally, I'd call Rochester then. Then what I did was, when I moved back home, I got in the restaurant business. Then my parents were helping my sister buy a hair salon. They asked me to become a hairstylist, or they asked me to manage her salon. So I said, well, I'm going to have to learn how to do hair. And they said, okay. So I did. Gary, you're going to love me in a minute, because I'm going to tell you. The cool thing is I got back into plumbing, and it was easy to do. I knew exactly what I was doing, so I could go out and get a good job. Man, Xander, it's always something good to fall back on. So get it and learn it. Even if all you ever do is help your friends, it's worth it. I want to say welcome to Justin Foltz, the newest member to the Tuber Turds. Great to have you in here. I do appreciate it. Go ahead, Liz. You're good. I need to make that go there. Boom. Okay. And there. So we're good. And you're more than welcome for the advice. Man, keep me informed on that. I'm just curious, because you know what? Go on my subreddit and send me a message, like the name of the company and the phone numbers. If you want me to, I'll call them and say, hey, man, I'm just curious. Why wouldn't you sign paperwork for that? They may not like me, but, if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me. Arulu says, your India's plumbing video was awesome. Love to watch more videos like those. They've actually got me working on some, so I appreciate that. Xander, I hope that helps you. Zane says, Roger, you really inspired me. Your question is, how you get so much courage to invest in your business and learning new things? Sometimes I can, but don't have courage to invest back. And this, I've had some amazing questions tonight. And I want to thank you all for them, both in the forum and the chat. But Zane, here's what I'll tell you. It's not, I don't know that it's really, it's courage. I saw an opportunity. I was working as a director of operations for a mechanical contractor, a pretty large one. And the neat thing about it is that they literally, it was ran by an older couple. The guy's in his mid-70s and his wife was about that same age. They brought in their daughter out of nursing because they told her, look, we're not going to do this forever. So either we're going to die and you're going to lose it or sell it, or you can come in and learn how to run it. Well, she wanted to come in and learn how to run it. Problem is, she was only worried about money. She did not care about plumbing, didn't care about anything we did. She was cared about dollars and cents. She would literally walk on the job sites in $800 shoes. And I looked at her, I said, look, you can't wear that stuff out here. She said, yes, I can. And she did, but she didn't care about anything. They were starting to get, or talking about getting into the residential service side of it, what I'm doing, just take care of homes all the time. And we were in an executive meeting one day and she says, okay, here's our mission statement, whatnot. We're going to tell people we focus on customer service and we have the best trained plumbers. I said, I love that. I said, what are you going to do to train the plumbers? She said, well, what do you mean? They've all got a license. I said, well, every plumber in Texas does. She said, so we don't need to train them. I said, oh, great. What are you doing for customer service? She says, well, all our people know how to say please and thank you, so we don't have to worry about that either. And I'm like, you're joking. The bad thing about it is she believed it, and that was her business model. This is what we're going to do. I knew right then that was not the spot for me to work at. It didn't take me much longer to leave, but when I did, 3 days later, I got a phone call because I'd always thought about opening my own company. I had the name, I had the idea. I've been plumbing for 40 years, so I had a ton of tools. I got a call that next Monday morning because I quit on a Friday. I called my wife, said, come pick me up. I had a company truck, computers, credit cards, phones, the whole 9 yards. I said, look, come get me. She said, this doesn't sound good. I said, this sounds great. So I decided right then and there, it's time to go. Cool thing about it is 3 days later, I got a call from a friend, says, Roger, look, I know you're busy, but you're the only plumber we trust. Lightning hit our house last night. We've got a leak in a gas line in an attic. How soon could you get here? I said, I'm on the way. And guys, I've pretty much been busy since then. I got out, started talking to real estate agents and companies and different things. We found a way to make our business grow. Maybe it wasn't courage. Maybe it was fear. But Zane, I got out and I started doing it, and I keep pushing every single day. But the cool thing about it is I love what I do. I love plumbing. I love this industry. I love the trades. I love the fact that I can help people change their lives. Victor Fuller, welcome to the membership. It is so good to have you in here. Zane, man, hope you enjoyed that long-winded answer. All right. Man, where did that question go about the leak detection? There you go. I love it. Garrett Potts, what is the best and most cost-effective leak detecting kit? I want you to check out a website called Leaktronics. Leaktronics is manufactured in Calabasas, California, so it's made in the USA. I love their product. I think it's great. I've got three different ones that I use. Leaktronics is my favorite. I use it for pool leak detection, for hot tub leak detection, stuff like that. They've got underwater microphones. There's so many good things. It's cool. It works. But check out Leaktronics. He's got training in person in Calabasas. He's got training virtually now, I think online. So he's got all kinds of great stuff. And it works. So I hope that helps. Matter of fact, Garrett, check it out and then get back with me and let me know what you think. I'd really be interested. Thank you. Silky 86, change the water heater faster. Yeah. Start draining it as soon as you get there and you sell the job, start draining it. Start prefabbing all your nipples, anything that you can. Man, find out how to get as fast as you can. And yes, sometimes I do skip lunch to get a job done. I shouldn't, but I do. Michael J says, I tried your video about slow drain sink in the kitchen, but there is no blockage in that area. How do I fix this with chemicals or something? Number one, I don't like chemicals. I don't think chemicals are good for your plumbing, to be honest. Also, they can be dangerous. If you get them in your eye or on your skin, you're going to regret it. Rigid makes a small top sink snake. If it's in your arm, that would clean it out just by hooking up to a cordless. You can get them for about $30-$40. And actually go to Ferguson.com and search Rigid. I think that they've got them on there. Those things are phenomenal, and I love them. But, man, please stay away from the chemicals. They're really not good for you. Gabriel Ruiz says, I'm from Chicago. Can you give me your opinion on the Rigid K9 306 flesh shaft? Man, I got to tell you, and this might be my only complaint about Rigid. We did a video. I knew about the 102. I knew about the 204. They sent me the 204, and I love it. Oh, my God, I would love the 306. I love the flex shaft. I think it is phenomenal. I think that is going to be a better drain cleaner than regular sewer machines. I really think it is cool. I think it's worth it. Man, I'm excited about it. If you read everything and learn to do it right, man, you're going to love it. It is a cool tool. Chuftata, how are you? What was your most dangerous fix? Also, what is the most overpriced tool? Overpriced tool, I still think the price needs to come down on the ProPress tools. I think that is one of the most overpriced tools. Most dangerous fix, literally trying to solder a joint without oxygen in a room. We were brazing, hooking up some boilers at the First United Methodist Church in downtown Dallas, and we were in a basement lower area. It dropped about 4 feet. And when we were in there soldering and getting things ready, our fire kept going out. And I mean, literally, we'd hold the torch up above 4 feet where the door was up there. We had starved all the bottom area of oxygen. So we would get oxygen, we'd try and get a torch on it to solder. And I know it doesn't sound very dangerous, but it was crazy. We ended up bringing in fans just to blow enough oxygen in towards the torch to keep it going. Actually, I think we swapped out to an oxygen acetylene rig and brazed it with it and put our turbo torches out. But when you're down there brazing and there is no oxygen, all of a sudden you just get really, really lightheaded. Probably wasn't smart, but that's probably one of the worst ones I've done. Mr. Mario Hernandez, thank you very much for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Good to have you in here. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're learning something, and hope you're having a good day. Emmanuel Maldonado has another one. How is artificial intelligence, smart glasses going to affect plumbing and other trades? Look, it already is, believe it or not. I'm working with a company on remote leak detection equipment. I know that y'all have heard of Fin. I know that you've heard of Flow. I know you've heard of stuff like that. I've been working with a company on one of these for 4 years, and we're getting really close to getting everything done. But my whole thing is, think about it like Flow. You've got to install Flow above ground because it's not waterproof. It's got to have power because it has to plug in because it's not battery operated. And it has to have Wi-Fi, so you've got to have cable, modem, something like that in order to get it to communicate. The remote leak detection setup I'm talking about is waterproof. It installs underwater, so you can put it in your meter box. You can put it in your basement. If your basement ever floods, you don't have to worry about it. You can install a shutoff valve, so when you get a notification on your phone saying that you have a leak, now you've got a button you can push to turn it off. And it has a cellular connection. So literally, it's got its own cell phone number that it communicates with. So here in Texas, our meters are out by the curb. You install it in that box, and you don't have anything to worry about. Now, the cool thing about it is the battery lasts, I think they've got it up to at least 2 years now. But you install it by a plumber, you do this, you do that. But now The plumber comes out and installs a valve that this hooks up to where literally you can shut it off. But you're asking about AI. Here's the thing. They've designed this valve now where it recognizes, hey, there's just a free flow water form somewhere. If you don't tell it to turn the water off, you can program it to where if there's a problem and I don't turn it off, you turn the water off for me, and it will. So it's going to affect plumbing. It is already affecting plumbing, and I think it's going to be a good thing. Evelyn says, I'm a 30-year-old woman looking to get into plumbing. Is it too late to get started? If not, what tips do you have to get started? Evelyn, man, you should have been in here earlier. I don't think it's too late. I love to see women getting into the trades. I think it's phenomenal. I think women have a great opportunity. I would ask where you're located. And the only reason I ask that is I've got friends in Canada that have kick-ass careers. And we were talking about Jamie earlier. Her name's Jamie McMillan. They talk about journeyman. It's not a gender. It's a designation. I think that there's some really great things that they're doing. And, man, I would say, first of all, take my free mini course, find out what kind of plumber you want to be. Then jump in, look at my videos. Man, the Nightbot's going crazy. Okay, so you're in LA. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If I was in LA right now and wanted to get into plumbing, I would contact John Acoyan over at Rooter Hero if you want to do residential service. But the first thing that I would do is take my free mini course, find out for sure what kind of plumber you want to be. If you want to do commercial, you want to get in with the union. So different ways to look at it. But Evelyn, man, no, it's not too late. Got to be honest, you can still, as young as you are, you can still get into the union, put in 25 to 35 years of service. And I know you're thinking, well, if I'm 30, I don't want to work 35 years till I'm 65. But the union set up to where if you work extra hours, you get extra credit. I worked like 21 years and I got 25 years service. So it can be a pretty cool deal. But what I'll tell you is that you may want that pension. You may say, hey, look, I want to do this. Vic's Plumbing, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. And Liz, you can go ahead and put that one up. What's the big difference between residential and commercial plumbing, except maybe the scale of things? And Marcus, that's good because there's a lot of difference. On a commercial job, you never deal with the owner. You're dealing with a general contractor. You're dealing with other subs. Literally, it's the cool thing about it is residential, you're dealing with the homeowner. You're dealing with the person with the problem. And you have an opportunity to meet them, to help them, and man, make their life wonderful. That's what I love about residential service plumbing. I get to meet people, help them take care of their problems, and it makes my day. Genius idea. I told my wife a few weeks ago I needed to hop on affordable Wi-Fi connectable shower valves, but that's even better. 10 to 10 will be pushing to install those everywhere. Absolutely. And I'm telling you guys, I'm involved with the manufacturer. I'm involved with the company. I've been working with this guy since 2016 to make this better, and it is this close to being ready to roll. Okay, Rory Ross, no such thing as a clean room plumber. No, I'm joking. Look, I used to work in subfabs and fabs out at Texas Instruments, smocked up head to toe. I'm very familiar with it. Congratulations to you. BP Brain Problem says, hey, Mr. Wakefield, my dad is a handyman, face paint, and we have some trouble around fall, and our water level starts rising in the toilet and it gets clogged. Do you have any ideas on how to fix it? Yeah, just make sure your vents and lines are cleaned out. Normally that's where your biggest problem is. I know that's crazy, but I definitely hope that it works. And Sean Strong's right. Residential is where the heroes work. If you become a good residential service provider, you can make great money. All right. We have Kenneth Bates. Just bought a house that was originally electric, but now has propane for heating. Hot water heater is Rheem electric. An inspector said it was manufactured in 2016. Current hot water heater works fine, but debating on switching to gas. Should I? What should I consider? Would it save me money in the long run? Well, first of all, you've got to look at where the water heater is. You're going to have to vent it out the roof now. because your flue pipe's got to vent out. The cool thing is you can probably save more money going gas or propane. And if you're propane, is it a propane tank, and how often do you have to have that refilled? Because going gas would speed that up. But hopefully, I think you're still going to be more efficient, and you're probably going to get a little bit hotter water, so could be good for you. Hello from Portugal. Good. Portugal, good to have you in here. Get an actual plumber to come by. Hey, if your dad's a handyman, he can probably go rent a sewer machine, clean out his own sewer. I love that, though. Okay, next question in the forum. Sam Jacobson says, hired a licensed trade company to do work at my house. They sent employees to do the work, $6,000. The licensed person never steps foot on my property. Work didn't pass inspection. Why am I not allowed to learn and do your own work? Man, I got a lot of questions for you, Sam. Number one, where are you located? Because homeowners in Texas are allowed to do their own work. They've just got to get it inspected and permitted, just like a plumber does. I'm licensed in Texas. I have my master license. My plumbers that I send out can be tradesmen or journeymen. They don't have to be that master. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. But the cool thing about it is, man, depending on where you live, it's written into the plumbing license law and stuff like that, that most homeowners can work on their stuff as long as it is their home. It's their homestead. So that part is really pretty cool. We got a super chat there, Miss Liz. Number one, I've got 400 rubles. I love that. From Russia. So Vladimir, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Wish you fastest recovery possible. Thanks for your Q&A. Man, I love that. Number one, I'm glad y'all get here. And Vlad, if you're still in the chat, what time is it in Russia? Just because I know, like over in the UK right now, they're 6 hours ahead of us. We had some people in here earlier, so right now it's 11 o'clock over there. It's 11 o'clock on Tuesday night. I know I said rubles. I thought that was still pretty cool, though. So, and he may say, look, it's only 20 cents. I don't care. That's pretty cool. Vladimir, I really do. I appreciate that. That is neat. I love the fact that we get people from all around the world, not just watching, not just listening, but commenting and asking questions. I think it's phenomenal. I love it. And I will tell y'all this. Oh, okay, it's 2 a.m. So yeah, man, you're 9 hours ahead of us. So good for you. Number one, thank you for staying up. I do appreciate it. Game Boy's 3 hours ahead. Yeah, man, we get people from all around the world staying up all kinds of hours in the night to watch. I love that. Lots of love from the Netherlands. Amen. What I'll tell you is look, and number one, guys, if y'all aren't subscribed yet, please go down the bottom and subscribe. Any Russian plumber we can get, any Russian women plumber we can get. Hey, I'll take a plumber right now. It ain't got to be Russian. It ain't got to be a woman. It ain't got to be a man. It can be anything. We need good plumbers. And not just here, but we need good plumbers all around the United States. So, thank you for the super chat from Plumber Works. This is my first Monday in 6 weeks. Having to work late. Yeah, man, I get it. And you know what, man? There's nothing wrong with working late. And we got Ireland. It is 11:10 at night. That is fantastic. Yeah, we got a lot of people staying up late. I'm glad y'all are staying up late and hanging out with us. And see, we used to do this later. We used to start it at 5 and go to 6:30. Now we started doing 3 to 5:30. Man, and I'm glad that we are, man. Y'all really would be up late. All right, I am going to jump back into the forum. Sam, I hope that question, or I hope my answer helped you. I hate the fact that it didn't pass inspection, but you should be able to call them back and get them out there to get it all done. And I hope that everything gets resolved for you. In Texas, a homeowner can pull a license and do their own work. So I appreciate it. Plumber Works, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So Plumber Works, new member, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Groot McF, those are super chat, not new members. They came up green, so I thought, wait a minute, these are new members. Shrink that back down. Perfect. All right. Great having y'all in here. Wow, Vladimir says I arrived home an hour ago and it's no problem. And that's usual for me, no problem. Wow. Okay, so X Austin 27X, if you've got a video, and guys, everybody, if you've got a video or a picture about plumbing, really any trades, good or bad, but I prefer plumbing, do me a favor, go to my subreddit, go into Reddit, search for Roger Wakefield posts, go post it there. We scroll through them. That's where we make a lot of our videos from. So, man, please. I just sent one today to the Hvac conference they're wanting to use. So, man, it could be really pretty cool. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. And it's not a new piping system. It is a new remote leak detection system, and it's called, stick with me. Let's get all our paperwork ironed out, and we'll make it happen. Group McF, how are you doing? Thank you for the super chat. Be interested in how sailors handle CHT for 4K people. Not sure. Got some good ones. Rebuilding pro pump inside of a tank on air, wearing 500 gallons. Man. Okay, you're doing some wild stuff. I can't say I've ever had to do anything quite that crazy. I think one of the craziest things I ever had to do is climb in an old 500-gallon water tank and cut it apart to haul it out. But, man, it was great. It was a demo job. I loved it. Man, rebuilding a poop pump doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun, though. Rather, my hat's off to you. And Group McF, thank you for the super chat. Yeah. Fat Rabbit, good night. You're right. It is about dinner time. I'll be getting out of here myself. Corey Collette says, can't wait to get out of school and get on a plumbing course. I love it. There's some good people in here. All right. Let me jump back over in the forum real quick. I got some questions I have got to fly through over there. So let me pop in here. Notice I'm kind of leaning down, getting comfortable. We're going to kind of speed around this just a little bit. Francisco says, what are the names of the union plumbing schools to apply to be a plumbing apprentice? I wanted to apply for a school named Pipe Fitter, but they're not accepting applications. I've got a link in some of my videos. You can go find the videos where I talk about how to get into the union, things like that. You can go to the unitedassociation.com or ua.com. Go in and click what state you live in, what city you live in, and see where the nearest local is. And they will be glad to help you out. Also contact PHCC. That's another great training program that I think can help you out a lot. Matthew Lawn says tankless or tank water heater. You know, to be honest, I normally leave that up to the engineer deciding it when they build it. We do retrofits every now and then, but we normally have to come in and change the gas. We have to increase the size of the gas a lot. So, you know, we try not to recommend that, but if that's what people want to do, we'll do whatever they want, but it can get very, very expensive. Fifth Man says, I'm a combination inspector for municipality, just starting. What is the most important thing for me to watch out for when inspecting? You know, just make sure you're fair and you go by the code. And, you know, every now and then you'll get certain inspectors that, you know, that they've got a bug up their butt about something, but, you know, make sure you know what the code says and understand, you know, I mean, if you're a an inspector. You're already a plumber, so you know what you're doing. At least I hope so. Just keep your eyes open. I love the fact that I think we've got some great plumbers. I think we put in things right. And, we sometimes we get calls saying, hey, need you to come back and work on this because we got a problem. But, man, to be honest, be fair to people. I think that's the most important thing you can do. And understand we're all trying to make a living. Every single one of us. Next question, Tucker Delbert. It is Delbert. What was the weirdest thing you pulled out of a drain or a toilet? Out of a drain was a squirrel or a bird. Out of a toilet were reading glasses and dentures. And they kept one and threw away the other one. I'll let you figure out which one they kept and which one they threw away. Dennis Ruiz says, can you poop in your toilet? Say no, it would be funny. Okay, no. I can poop in my toilet, but you can't poop in my toilet. I can't poop in my toilet right here, right now. Kenneth Bates, brother, you are more than welcome, and thank you for the super chat. Dan Ansel says, would you find yourself getting sick often in the early days dealing with people's waste pipes, toilet, complete newbie, but falling in love with the craft? So I think about college at 25, but I suffered from mental health issues with sickness previously, ametopia, but on the mend currently. Good for you. Dan, I didn't get sick. I never did. And I mean, look, in the beginning, OSHA wasn't even a thing. If they were a newbie. The whole thing is, look, I think being in the trades, your body builds up an immunity to a lot of things that a lot of people have problems with because you're around it all the time. So, I mean, I don't think it's a problem. And when I say around it all the time, it's not like you're just in poop all the time, but there's a lot of things that, it's not good to be around 24 hours a day, every day a week, but it's not going to kill you. And matter of fact, I think it'll probably make you stronger. Yeah. Kenneth, like I said, brother, thank you for the super chat. Man, I love giving people advice and helping y'all. I love it. Sean Austin called in sick today. I got a feeling he had a Super Bowl hangover. They call it a football hangover the day after the Super Bowl, so I get it. Next question from Liam Davids. Have you ever had any encounters with snakes on the job? I've had spiders on the job. I've seen snakes on the job, not right near me or anything. I've seen snake skins under a crawl space, but man, nothing crazy. Sydney Wants says, how long did it take for you to learn how to solder and make it look nice? Just started learning today. Sydney, I've got some videos that are really good about it, about soldering and brazing both. And my thing is, don't get me wrong, and I want it to look good, but my biggest concern is I don't want it to leak. And there's another YouTube channel called Got to Learn, and I think it's a really good channel, but he focuses on making every single joint look beautiful. And me is, look, man, we ain't got time for that. I want them to look good, but most people want you to do things that don't leak, and they're never going to leak. They want it to look nice, but man, some people go into a ton of detail. Some lawmakers want today to be a national holiday. Yeah, and that's true. Joe and I talked about that this morning. That they literally, and it may just be the state of Texas, but we're a little different. So one of the politicians is wanting to make the day after the Super Bowl National Football Hangover Day. Buddy says, entrepreneur advice, please. 2 years incorporated, struggling to find new clients. Any tips how to market yourself in a saturated market? Well, buddy, I'm in Dallas. My competition does $70 and $80 million a year. I do about $1 million a year. Social media works. Networking works. I teach people the grow process. Grow, G, grow your network. R, relate socially. Get involved in social media and relate to people. O, own video. S, SEO. Keywords work. Words work. Or W, not S. GROW. Words work. Words are key. SEO works for social media. When you learn all that and learn to do it right, man, our phones are blowing up. We're busier than we've ever been. I need to hire plumbers. I need to hire an operations manager. I need to hire a lot of things. So it's literally crazy. And that's one of those things that we're talking about. You know, I was talking to y'all earlier, asking y'all if I started that monthly training and Q&A, who all would be interested in it. One of the things that we're talking about is for the owners that own their own business and want to grow. That's what we're going to be teaching, is networking, social media, stuff like that. Hope that answered your question, brother. Zane, how do you find balance between being funny, entertaining, and serious? You know, to be honest, Zane, I don't try to be funny. I remember the first time people came to me and told me, "Oh my God, your videos are hilarious." And I'm like, "Well, what did I say funny?" I guess I'm kind of witty, but look, at the end of the day, I love plumbing and I love what I do, and I'm entertained by it. I'm happy to be here. And I think that when you're happy, you literally, you see things a little bit different. It makes you enjoy it a little bit more. And to me, that's just pretty cool. So I don't know that I find a balance. I find a way to bring humor if the situation calls for it. But I will tell you this, if I'm ever caught talking to a customer and they're serious, and I mean like totally serious, I don't try to crack jokes with them. I want to meet them on their level. And it's all about emotional intelligence and understanding what your customer is looking for. And those are things that we talk about and teach, because, man, people got to learn how to communicate with people the right way. And it's such a big deal. So I hope that answered your question, Zane. If not, come back next week. I'll try again. That was supposed to be funny. Alex McKenzie says, do you have any tips for an auto sprinkling system? For reptiles. Ooh, that's different. I don't. Man, I've never done anything like that. I would think that you could put some kind of a sprayer on a timer and make it work. So that could be pretty cool. Is that the one I just answered? Yes. Go to the next one. Boom. Mr. Mario Hernandez says, thank you for the content. Roger, you're a great resource of information. I'm leaving 2 weeks from tomorrow to do plumbing for the Air Force. Brother, number one, thank you and congratulations. I've got a nephew that is flying over in the Middle East right now. Actually got the message yesterday that he's in the Middle East, to please pray for him. So, you know, everybody in here right now, if you'll pray for my nephew, he is in the Air Force flying over to the Middle East. So think about that. Any advice on how to apply my experience in the military towards a plumbing license? I want to settle down in West Virginia after active duty, if that helps. Number one, when you're in the military, ask them, hey, do y'all have like any plumbing positions? And I know that sounds funny, but I had somebody in my live stream probably about a month ago, that said, hey, they're offering me a position in plumbing, and I've thought about it. How will this help me? And I explained to him, look, when you come home, man, you got a job, and it'll help you a lot. So, you know, that they still need plumbers in West Virginia. I think you'll like it. And learning piping, and I don't know if you were here earlier for the pipe fitter and stuff like that. You may become a pipe fitter, not a plumber, but I think you'll get there. I know, Julie and emotional intelligence makes her day. Sam says, hey, Mr. Wakefield, my dad is a handyman. Okay, wait, I already did this one. Let's go to the next one. Beautiful. Kenneth Bates, I bet we answered this one too. Just bought a house that was originally electric? Yes. So y'all are sneaky. Y'all putting questions over there and over here. I like y'all. Leonardo Gutierrez. What is the best first vehicle to start a plumbing business? Man, this is a great question. If you're in Dallas, I got 4 vans and a truck for sale. We just upgraded vehicles. But see, that's part of it's part of my course too. The one that we're talking about doing, or it's part of the syllabus for it. People that want to start their own company, do they buy used vans, or do they buy new ones, or what? And I almost got to tell you, look at what you'll pay for it. I don't remember what we're leasing vehicles for, but you may say, look, I want to lease a full-blown, amazing, extra large, extra long plumbing van. You can get more stuff in it. It's going to help you make money faster and longer. And, 3 years, 4 years down the road, you can either buy it or keep it, or buy it and keep it, or give it back and get new ones. So entirely up to you. Got a super chat here from Plumber Works. Is plumbing for the union better than the government? Man, the union is about like the government. They pretty much want you to do everything the way they want it done, and that's the only way. I really wish the union would work with me to help make everything better. The neat thing is look, there's nothing wrong with the union as long as you're an employee. I think it's great if you're an employee. If you want to own your own company, if you want to be a contractor, if you want to own your own business, you don't want to be in a union because you can't afford it. You're going to end up giving the union a freaking ton of money, and it's going to come back and hurt you. So, I don't know if you mean if plumbing for the union is better than working in the government or for the government or whatever. To me, and it all sounds like it's about the same. Yeah, if y'all are plumbers, put what vehicle you have in here, and also put this: did you start out with used or new, and did you buy or did you lease? Just curious. I started out buying 15-year-old vans from a friend of mine. Then I bought a box truck. Then I bought 2 other vans. And finally I said, look, man, I'm tired of these things breaking down all the time. Then I lease vehicles, and I got to tell you, I love it. All right. No more questions in the forum, please. We're fixing to shut it down. I see that we got some more super chats and stuff in. Liz can bring them up. Trenton Lane Ortiz says, what is the one thing you enjoy most about plumbing, and what job calls do you like the most? The neat thing is, I love plumbing because I love helping people. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of plumbing companies ripping people off, meaning they're going out and trying to sell them stuff that they don't need. And to me, that just breaks my heart. My deal is, and I tell my guys all the time, like, if you're going to sell a $30,000, $40,000, $60,000, $80,000 job, you better be able to prove to me they needed it, because if not, it's a problem. And, I hate these guys that rip people off all the time. So I love service calls where I know, number one, other plumbers have lied to them, and I get the chance to come back and fix it or tell them what is really wrong. And that happens more often than you would think. But to be honest, and I love plumbing because I get to help people. It's what I love about being a residential service plumber. And somebody asked earlier, what's the big difference? The big thing is, if you're a commercial plumber, you never deal with the true customer. You deal with a contractor. You deal with a general contractor. You deal with other subs. You do stuff like that. Me, crazy thing is, I deal with the homeowners, the people that are really having the problems. Blair says his company leases, then they buy out after the lease is up. They have 19 trucks on the road at the most. Heck of a deal. Super chat from Group McF again says, to the man asking about military plumbing, Navy HT is a combo of welder, pipe fitter, and brazing and plumbing. CBs also have plumbers. Can't go wrong. And I completely agree. And I'm assuming that means you're in the Navy. So number one, thank you for your service. Both of you, thank you for your service. And man, anything I can do to ever help y'all, let me know. Craig Close says, hi, Roger. Have you had any experience with polybutylene? We don't really have it over here in England, but I know the States had a problem with it a few years back. Somebody asked about this earlier. When we have polybutylene, we tell them, look, we can't repair this. The reason being And a lot of people will say, well, I'll go try to find the fittings and I'll try to do this and I'll try to do that. Problem is you can spend a lot of hours, and I have. I spent 16 hours trying to make a repair one day. The guy got livid. And I said, look, the other choice was to repop the whole house. And he says, oh, no. And man, every time I'd tighten it up, another piece of crack. And we kept having to replace more and more and more until finally I got it to quit. He saw no benefit of that. He's like, you're just trying to rip me off. He's like, no, really, I was trying to help you because his water service was almost 300 feet. And I'm like, that's going to kill him. But it is what it is. Sean, brother, great to have you in here. Thank you so much. I do appreciate everything you do. I've got just a couple of more questions, and I am out of here myself. So thank you very much. Guys, if y'all are in here and you have not subscribed, please do so. Samuel Charette says, I'm a plumber for a company in Canada. Want to make more money by week. How can I do it? I run job $300,000 a year and have over 190,000 hours of trade. You know, this is something I talked about earlier. And guys, this will be my last question of the night. But this is a good one. And this is a great way to end. So I really do. I want y'all to think about this. Look at the companies you're at and ask yourself, do they pay other people more money? Because if they pay other people more money, then they see more value in them than they do in you. So what I want you to think about is, what can you do to bring value to yourself? And this is what we're talking about putting this training together for. Is Cool Guy 123, love you too, man. The neat thing about it is, if you bring more value to your company, you're worth more money. And either they're going to pay you more money or you can go somewhere else to get it. But here's what I'll tell you. You can learn those skills. And that's what we're teaching. That's what we're talking about. And we're still building the syllabus. And that's why I always ask, is there anybody that would be interested in doing something like that? We're talking about going once a month for an hour, and I say for an hour to two. And then we're talking about going back in later and doing just a Q&A. Hey, have y'all been thinking about what we talked about? Have you been implementing it? Have you been working it? What are you doing? What are you looking for? And just bringing in people. And look, I used to do this with Michael Gerber. My first coaching sessions, the first coaching consultant I hired was Michael Gerber. He wrote the E-Myth books. And it was phenomenal for me. The problem is, and yeah, at 46, you can find an apprentice job. The thing for me is, up until a few years back, I was stuck. I had all the licenses and endorsements, and don't get me wrong, I made good money. I moved up to director of operations, but at the end of the day, I wasn't happy. And I wanted to do what I wanted to do and start bringing more value, start learning more. So I did, and it was really such a big deal to me. But once I started learning more, getting a better education and figuring things out, I started looking at, okay, now how can I help others? And that's why we're wanting to do this. So anyway, you can do what you want to do if you can learn more, learn how to get better. If you're an apprentice or a journeyman, what skills can you learn? Can you get other endorsements on your license? Can you get med gas? Can you get, I know it's a brace, Skylink Gamer, detached bicep. So love it. Anyway, the big thing is, if you bring more value to the people you work for, you are going to make more money. And I really think that when you do that, you're going to see opportunities that weren't there before. But it's up to you. And that's why I'm teaching people how to do things. And Joseph and somebody in here put in earlier, it's hard to get an apprentice job. Look, I've made videos teaching people how to get an apprentice job. I made videos teaching you what to wear, what questions to ask, things to do. But at the end of the day, man, it's up to you. You're the one that has to get out and do it and talk to them. If you know the things I'm talking about, it's going to help you. If you don't, it's going to hurt you, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to go in and sit in that job interview. But the more of these videos that you watch, the more you learn, the more value you can bring to people. It literally, and Joseph took the free class, man. I love it. It helps you find out what kind of plumber you want to be. That's amazing. So guys, look, my shoulders are getting sore. My feet are getting tired. I want to say thank you all for being here. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please go down there, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. I'm going to bring you great value. I'm going to help you learn. I'm going to help you grow. And I really do hope that you enjoy it. Anyway, thanks to all the moderators that were in. Thanks to Liz. Thanks to Virgil. Thanks to Editor Grayson, Julie Wakefield, Amber Mendoza, Sean Strong. Love you guys. Thank you for everything you do. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.